Alright, so I've gathered some things that I will be using. Just a little brush that I'm going to use to scrub it. You can use whatever, but I find that a little toothbrush will probably work better, you know, to scrub the roots. Okay, and then I have a little food processor that I'm going to use to chop it up, some spring water, a bowl for when I get ready to wash in the sink, and a strainer for the tea, a jar in case I have any extra left over. I want to be able to store it in the jar, a pan because this will be roasted in the oven, and a cutting board. Okay, so got all my stuff together. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and chop off the greens. I picked these last night, or actually yesterday evening, and so the leaves have kind of wilted. I have had dandelion leaves before, and they're very bitter, which is, you know, even healthier for you. It's the bitterness that makes them healthy, but I just didn't like them. So I don't mind if they're wilted because I will not be using that. I will just be using the root. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut off all of the green leaves and just cut it down to the root. Okay. Okay, so this is what I'm left with after cutting all the leaves off. And the next step is to wash the roots very thoroughly, and I will be using a little toothbrush to help scrub. Alright, so you do want to fill the bowl up with cold water, and then go ahead and clean it as much as possible. You do want all the dirt off there. You do not want any dirt in your tea. So I'm going to be, you know, continue to rinse until the water runs clear. So you see how dirty it is. So this water needs to be clear before I'm done washing. As you can see with the toothbrush, you can really get it clean from where it was, but still got some more scrubbing to do. So you definitely want to get, you know, a new toothbrush and do this, because you can really get into all the little crevices and clean it well. Okay, so I finished washing the burdock, and I think it's as clean as I'm going to get it. Does look a lot better, not as dirty. Okay, so the next step, we're going to go ahead and chop it up. Next step is to chop it up. You could do this with a knife. I don't have a lot, so I could easily do it with a knife. But because I do have a little mini food processor, I'm going to use that to just have even pieces. Okay, so we have them all chopped, pretty much about that size. Okay, so you want to go ahead and spread it out on a baking sheet. Let's take this out. Okay. Alright, so I just got some parchment paper on the baking sheet. But yeah, just spread it on out. Okay, so you want to leave the oven cracked, and this is for moisture. Yeah, that'll do it, as long as that don't melt. Okay, so I wanted it to shut a little bit more. Yeah, so about right there, just a little crack. Okay, so this is what I got. Looks like this. It smells really good. Okay, so I'm going to prepare it as a tea. I'm going to use about 2.5 cups of water. Okay. Spring water. And about a tablespoon of tea. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add 2.5 cups of water to my pot. Okay, so it's been steeping for, let's see, 15 minutes. So, woo, yes. The smell. I love it. So, I'm gonna go ahead and strain it into my infuser tea kettle. I'm gonna go ahead and let it sit inside the infuser basket and let it just continue, to steep. That's fine. For a few more minutes. Okay, so I have my tea steeping here in my little tea kettle. And the leftover burdock that I had, didn't have much, but I'm not ready to use it, so I went ahead and put it in a little small size jar and labeled it, of course. And then I still do have some leftover burdock, and I also put it in a smaller size jar just to keep everything nice and fresh. So I think those store really well. You can actually get these jars at the Dollar Tree for $1. And they work really well for herbs when you have just a small, amount left. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and sample. It smells really great, but I must admit, it does not smell as good as the burdock root did. The dandelion root has a different smell to it, a different aroma. Still very nice, but not nearly as pleasant as the burdock. All right, so got my cup here. I'm gonna add some agave as a little sweetener. All right, so let's give it a try. Now you can really smell it. Has a really nice color to it as well. It smells divine. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of agave, about a teaspoonful or spoonful here. All right, let's see what a little agave did. Much better, but I can still taste way too much bitterness. So I did go ahead and add a spoonful or two of the hemp milk, and now the tea is quite delicious. So I don't know if I just turned it into a coffee, but it is pretty good. So add a little agave, maybe a little hemp milk or whatever your milk of choice is. Definitely makes the dandelion tea taste a lot better. Not as good as burdock, but still, to make a tea out of something that you found in your yard, I think is amazing. And the medicinal benefits of the dandelion tea are amazing as well. So yeah, I probably, since I have so much of it in my yard, I probably will make some more and experiment with it. This was my first time making it, so I don't think it, went too bad. Like I said, the burdock tea was just delicious right off the bat. This, kind of have to work with it. And I've actually tried dandelion tea in the package form. As a matter of fact, let me show you what I have. I went and got my box of dandelion root tea that I actually purchased. This was a tea that I got a while back. I may have purchased it at Whole Foods. But as you can see, some of the benefits of the dandelion root. But yeah, definitely give it a try, especially if you have some of those roots growing in your yard. It didn't cost me anything to make this tea other than my time. And it was kind of time consuming, but it was worth it to try it, you know, and make it from scratch. It's a great experience. So I will continue to work with it. And if you have any tips on dandelion tea, please share in the comment section. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. So thanks again for watching. Stay tuned, more videos to come.